In this video, I'm going to give you the complete game plan that allowed me to go from a broke college kid with about $1,500 to a multi-million-dollar business owner in my early 20s. We're going to break down who this business is good for, how much money you need to get started, how to find your first products, and how to get the ball rolling as soon as possible. So I'll skip the fluff and let you know that Amazon FBA, specifically doing online arbitrage, is probably one of the best business models out there for you, for any new business owner. And the reason for that is because the business model allows us to sell existing name brand products on Amazon that customers are already buying. So the problem with a lot of other e-commerce specific business models is that you have to go in, you have to create your own marketing, you have to create your own demand, like if you're doing Shopify or even Amazon private label. Whereas with Amazon arbitrage, people already want to buy the products. So literally your only goal is to find the products cheap enough to make a profit, which I know is easier said than done. So in this video, I'm going to show you exact products and then how to find more of those products that are cheap enough to make a profit. So Amazon arbitrage is the right business model for you if you're willing to put in genuine effort to get over the learning curve of the business. You also need to destroy that preconceived notion of passive income, which simply does not exist in 99.9% of businesses. But what I've loved about Amazon compared to other business models is the scalability. This is something I was super passionate about, and hopefully you are too. You do not want to have to be hustling around being the operator day to day in your business. And so because I was willing to work hard getting over that initial learning curve, like I said, I've been able to build a business that does over $150,000 a month in revenue, all selling products that I never sourced myself, I never touched the products myself, and I never have to ship the products off to customers. If that sounds too good to be true, I've been documenting my journey as an Amazon seller here on the channel for years. You can check it out and see all the proof for yourself. So if you have at least $1,000 and you're willing to genuinely work hard to build a scalable long-term business, let's jump into it. So let's go ahead and start breaking down all the nitty-gritty details, how to get started, how to get approved to sell big name products with the tools you need, as well as how to actually find products for yourself. So step one in starting this business is going to sell.amazon.com. You're going to sign up for the professional sellers account. Ideally, it is $40 a month, but that $40 a month allows you to waive a $1 per unit fee. So hopefully you plan on selling more than 40 units, and you can kind of see how that break even would happen at 40 units. And that $40 fee also allows you to integrate softwares that you might need later down the line. The two that I'm about to show you do not need this integration though. Once you go through the sign up process here on Seller Central, it can depend on how Amazon's policies are at the time. You might have to enter a digit that they send you on a postcard. You might have to do an interview, but all of those things can be done relatively quickly. And so in the meantime, while you're waiting for that seller verification, you want to go ahead and get set up with this tool right here called Keepa. This tool is $20 a month, and it basically shows you the history of every item on Amazon. We'll break down why it's important here in just a second. And then the other tool that you need is our product research tool. This is SellerAmp. It allows you to actually do product research. It has an app, it's got the Chrome extension, all that kind of stuff that we'll break down here today. But those are literally the only two tools that you need. And that's why you can start this business with as little as $1,000, because the overhead is super, super low. And that's something that was really important to me when I was starting my business. Is I was a broke college kid. I literally had $1,500, like I said. So I needed to be able to start a business very, very cheap. And so I think this is a good option for you. So with that in mind, let me break down the actual types of products that you can sell. So I found these as an example of a product over here on Nike's website. You can see they're doing a 25% off sale today on top of a lot of these different sweatpants here. So the size mediums, I noticed, we're selling on Amazon for about $83. So if we're buying those for $57.95, we can do our math in that box there times 0.75. We're going to end up paying about $43. We can round up to 45 after shipping and taxes and all that kind of stuff. Shipping is also included on these fees here within SellerAmp, just in case you're skeptical. And after it's all said and done, you're going to make $16 a unit selling just this pair of pants right here. And the great thing about arbitrage is that we can sell big established brands like Nike, like Adidas, Lego, Neutrogena, any of those big brands that you see on the shelf. There's a good shot that you might be able to sell them on Amazon, and people are already buying a ton of them, right? And so you don't just make $16 every time you find a product here. You can buy 10, 20, 50 units, even more sometimes, depending on the volume on the product, all that kind of stuff. And that's what makes this really, really scalable, is just this one product lead right here. Even if we only buy 10 pairs, we've just made $160 in profit, which if you're coming from a more traditional job, even if you're making 20 or 30 bucks an hour, that's several hours of your time that you just bought back. So using this pair of pants right here, we can actually find our next profitable products. And this is how you need to go out and start finding products of your own that aren't on YouTube. Please don't buy this exact pair of pants. It's just an example, so you're aware of the potential out there for you. So we're going to look for another product here together. But the next question that I get from a ton of Amazon sellers is, how do I actually get approval to sell these big name brand products, right? That's something that has held back way too many people. And this process is called ungating, right? So we want to be able to sell big brands like Nike, Neutrogena. And to do that, all we need to do is submit an invoice to Amazon for 10 units of whatever we're wanting to buy. So in this case, this sweatpants right here, you can literally buy these from Nike.com. And the only caveat is to make sure that on the invoice, you have your business address that is listed on your Amazon account. So for most of you, that's probably just going to be your home address, and you ship the Nike pants to your home address, submit that invoice to Amazon. And then after you submit that invoice to Amazon, you're going to go ahead and get approved to sell. This was something that held me back massively back in 2018. People were gatekeeping, ungating like crazy, and there's still group owners now that are mad at me for sharing this information with you. So please take advantage of it, because it's really insane that we get to leverage the biggest marketplace on the internet and sell the biggest brands on the internet. I don't want to turn this into a full ungating tutorial here. So if you have more questions on that, or you're getting stuck on the ungating process, I'll leave a video right up here that I made. It's about 6-7 minutes, and it walks you through the entire ungating process from start to finish. And so now that we have this pair of pants picked out as a potential product that we can sell, we can use one profitable item to find a potentially infinite number of other profitable leads for our business. And this is where our product research tool SellerAmp is going to come into play, because if these pants are being sold profitably by one seller who's buying them probably from Nike, there's a good chance that those products are also going to be profitable from other websites like Nike, and other websites we might be able to buy Nike, or just kind of expand our catalog into new brands, right? I don't want you to think that you can only sell, big giant brands like Nike, right? So for example, this seller right here looks like they're selling majority. They got 50 Nike products, but they've also got Jockey, Adidas, Columbia, more Adidas, Carhartt. And so one thing that we can immediately learn from looking at these storefronts is what other brands can I sell as an Amazon seller, right? So from this, I'm learning that maybe we can sell some Jockey products. So we can go ahead and check this out. Seems like they're selling some underwear, something like that. We can also go ahead and check out these Adidas originals, just get a feel for what is actually profitable in each one of these brands, right? And so as we're looking through here, I'm going to go ahead and head back over to the Nike products. The reason for that is because today we noticed that there's a sale on the Nike website, and that makes it a disproportionately better opportunity for us to go in and look at the Nike products that this seller is selling, and then see if they're on sale on the Nike website, right? So this kind of helps you cheat the code. Instead of having to just look at the website and randomly click around, or just look at Amazon and just hope that the products are going to be high enough pricing for you, selling fast enough, we can cheat that just by looking at a seller's storefront. They've already done the research for you basically. And so we just need to dive in and see what else we might be able to find profitably. So let's go ahead and just start opening some of these up here. And as I'm looking through here, I'm going to be looking specifically at this max cost option. This is basically showing me the maximum price that I can pay for this item to hit my ideal ROI, which usually for me is about 35%. So I want to make at least 35 cents for every dollar I spend. So we can just go ahead and hit the Google button right there. And that's honestly probably going to take us right back to this same listing. And so we could honestly have a profitable product right away here. So I want to go ahead and look into this one a little bit closer. So the large talls are $75 on Amazon. Over here, it looks like, so the large talls are out of stock. That's perfectly fine. Something you might want to do on something like this then is you can open up the Amazon listing. And just because you found a product that isn't necessarily amazing today, you can still use that as an opportunity to find products in the future, right? So you want to remember that this product is good. And so I would go down to my SellerAmp extension here, just click like Christmas or close to profit, something like that, so that it just reminds you whenever you have a product that is really, really close, you can just go back in there, check that sheet, see if there's any ideas that you once had on products that maybe are profitable again, or you can check and see if they're back in stock on the website. So like we can already see that this is 81 bucks. If we buy those on that sale right there, those are 44 bucks. We're making 15 bucks. So ideally we can just kind of monitor that, check it next time Nike runs a sale, and we'd have a profitable product there. Just for me able to click the button on our Chrome extension, which would then send it over here. So you can see those sweatpants it just sent right there. So if you have a list that says really like close to profit or like out of stock when I checked it, that kind of stuff, it's going to start letting you build huge lists of products that kind of just let you shortcut the process of product sourcing, right? So you want to make sure you're storing as much of this information as possible. They're not going to all be winners right away by any means. If it was, we'd all be super, super rich, but hopefully you're able to find products at a super high success rate. So let's keep on moving on here. Looks like the medium talls would also be good if those are in stock. So yeah, the medium talls are also out of stock, but right away, we're already seeing some products where I want to keep these in my kind of back of mind knowledge. And as these sales keep popping back up, I definitely want to kind of look closer into that and see if we might have something decent, right? So let's go ahead and open up the Google button here. I'm just going to start clicking through some of these different. So it looks like we got some hoodies here. So here are the hoodies. Looks like they're 70 bucks. See if there's any kind of discount or anything. Like a lot of times the price will be marked down like that. So those would be a pretty good deal. And typically when I'm looking at clothing, I'm looking at more like the boring colors. You'll kind of get a feel for whatever niche you want to sell in. If you are, really passionate about doing makeup, or maybe you know a lot about kids toys because you've got kids at home, that kind of thing. Those are all great ways for you to start your business. It really kind of just depends on whatever types of products you have a passion for. And that's just like a nice cheat code to sourcing products faster because you already know a lot about the niche. So if you have that, don't go to clothing, go to the toys or whatever else you're kind of passionate about. But let's go ahead and keep moving on here. So we do have these hoodies here. A lot of times it's going to be tough to find profitable items that are just at regular retail retail price, but I'll kind of show you my process for how I like to look at these. So I'm going to pop open this listing right here. We can see we're buying these for 70 bucks. We're going to do times 0.75 right there, just because we're getting 25% off. And so we would probably need to sell these. A good rule of thumb is trying to sell your products for about double what you're paying. And so in this example, we'd probably be looking to sell these hoodies for about $100. And based on this one right here, seems like $70 is a more fair price. This is another application for when Keepa comes into play. We can go in here to our variations within Keepa. And this basically just shows us every single variation of this product. And we can start to get a feel for which of these might sell well, or which in this case, we're looking for the most expensive versions of it. So for example, the white extra small seems to actually be selling for about $100. So we could see if we've got the extra small. So again, extra smalls are out of stock, unfortunately, but that's kind of my process on a lot of these bigger listings right here. So these charcoal XL hoodie right here is 94 bucks. So we're kind of close there. We can see if that's in stock. So the 4XL may be out of stock there as well. But yeah, we just kind of keep on trucking through these listings. And really, we're just looking for a product that looks a little bit like that initial product we found in terms of profitability. So let's check this next one here. So we found these sweatpants. Seems like these are the right sweatpants. So 34 bucks. They are currently listed for $54. So we could be kind of onto something here in terms of finding a profitable product, right? So just being able to shortcut the process of like knowing which products are good, just kind of looking at the storefronts of other sellers is a major hack. So these are $55 right now. They are 35 bucks plus we get a 25% coupon. So that's perfect. 26 bucks. We're selling them for about $56 right now. And we just want to make sure everything looks the same. So it's got a little cuff at the bottom. They are the girls sizing right there. There's the mediums. So yeah, it seems like a perfect product right there. So just a few products in, like literally what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products we checked. And then immediately we're finding a potential profitable product, right? So these size mediums here, these are selling 500 times a month. That's going to be split between all these colors and all these different sizes as well. So one thing you do want to check is going down here to the variations tab within SellerAmp. We can click check. And then this is going to quickly show me like the most popular colors. So black and white is the most popular color. Sizing wise, medium is also pretty popular. We can also see right here, this is the exact product we were just looking at, black, white, medium. It's got about 11% of the reviews here. And so we can kind of infer that based on the fact that 11% of the reviews are going to this specific style, roughly 11% of these sales would be going here, right? So this random pair of pants right here that we found in a couple minutes is selling 50 times a month. We've got a few competitors to compete with. So 4 different guys right here. If you come on as that 5th seller, you're going to be selling at least 10 to 15 pairs of these every month, right? So 10 to 15 pairs right there. That's 120 bucks up to like 180 bucks or so, all just from doing a couple minutes of product research there. And so this process is called reverse sourcing. It's by far the best way to find profitable products to sell. I will also show you one other quick thing here. If you are already familiar with a certain website or a certain brands, that kind of thing, another way that I like to do things, it's a little bit higher level because you're going straight into the listings. So for example, now that we know there's a decent sale on Nike.com today, we can open up one of these listings. I'm going to pop open this one, and then we can hit the SellerAmp Chrome extension. What it's going to do is it's going to grab that title directly from the page for me. And then I can start to get a feel for how fast these different shoes here might be selling, right? So we can see that this is 121K sales rank. It seems like that red color there. A lot of times there's different variations. So different colors are on lots of these different listings. So we can check that out. So this is actually just the reds. That's really surprising that the kind of weirder colors here. It's a good rule of thumb, right? I like to look at the more boring colors, but these are kind of just a weird red colored listing right there, doing pretty well. So this has a 24K bestsellers rank. And then right away, we can see here's the men's 2017 shoes. I have no idea if they're profitable or not. In this case, it looks like a lot of them are in the $100 range. We're buying them for like 160. And so this is just a different way to do your product research, right? So if you don't want to be skimming through seller storefronts, you think you're confident, you know how to look at different brands, that kind of thing. That's how I do a lot of my sourcing. It's just kind of going straight to the website and kind of ideally being the first to the punch, right? Speed is a really important factor in this business. Being the first person onto a listing, being the first person to buy it on a really good sale, all that is really important, helps you make kind of maximum profit out of your business. And so with all that in mind, now you kind of know the tools you need, how to find products, how to get approved to sell those products. I want to go ahead and talk about how much money you actually need to succeed in this business. So I built this super simple spreadsheet here as just kind of a visual guide to help you understand the amount of money you really need to crush it in this business. So this is a pretty fairly standard breakdown. Let's say for every $2,000 you're selling in revenue, it costs you $1,000 just in product costs. So like we're talking about that rule of trying to double the revenue in terms of what you paid for your product. That's going to mean that about 50% of your revenue is COGS, so cost of goods sold. Let's say you really want to sell $12,000 a month on Amazon. That's going to mean that that breaks down to spending about $6,000 a month on product, right? And even better, you can break that down into a daily spend goal, which is a really good thing that I like to keep in mind, especially for new Amazon sellers. If you put a little sticky note on your computer, you know, every day I'm going to spend 200 bucks, right? Or every week I'm going to spend, you know, whatever it works out to, about probably 1,500 bucks or something like that, right? And so that's just a really good kind of hard set way for you to actually hit the goals that you're shooting for for. And I hope that gives you just like a little bit of perspective in terms of what it's really going to take to crush it in this business. And if spending $5,000 to $6,000 a month sounds insane to you right now, you don't have that kind of capital, don't worry, I didn't either. I was able to snowball my Amazon business profits into now we're able to spend 6 figures a month on profitable inventory for my business, right? So I'll show you a different way here. Let's say very similar breakdown. If your year-to-date profit on $5,000 in spend was $1,750, that's going to be a 35% ROI. Again, that's our goal. That's what we're shooting for. And all those products we just found, we found over a 35% ROI. Let's say you really want to shoot for the moon and make $17,000 in profit, right? To do that, you'd be spending $50,000 a month, right? And like I just said, I snowballed my business. I only had about $1,500 and now we're spending well over this. In the last week alone, we've spent about $85,000 on products. And that's all done just by looking at everyday websites and kind of hitting our goals based on that. So with that in mind, I want to give you some action items if you're ready to spend the next 45 days building a $10,000 business. So step 1, sign up for that Amazon seller account. Step 2, SellerAmp and Keepa, the only tools that you need to get set up in this business. Step 3 is going to be to go find a profitable product. And what I would highly recommend for you guys, set yourself a daily goal in terms of how much money you're going to spend. Even if it's only $50, spend 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you have available to you, right? That's kind of the beautiful part of Amazon running a business on your own time, is that it's on your own time. If you can't spend 5 hours a day, spend 1 hour a day. If you can't spend 1 hour a day, spend 30 minutes a day. Do whatever you can. Keep in mind that your output is going to be somewhat proportional to that time, but you really can put in whatever time works for you. And in case you're mentally asking this question right now, you can do this as a full-time student with a full-time job. In fact, I've helped people scale to well over $100,000 a month who still kept their 9-to-5s. And then the last action item I want to give to you guys right here, this is completely free before you click away. I tried to put together the ultimate free guide for a new Amazon seller. It's a few hours of content. It comes with our free Discord community where you can come ask some questions, some downloadable PDFs and spreadsheets. I really think it's everything you need to guide your way to that first $10,000 in sales really, really quickly. And so like I said, this is completely free. You can check it out down below. This is the Amazon Launchpad. So I hope you got some valuable perspective out of this video, and I hope you use the information, take action on it, because I really wish someone had made a video like this when I was starting back in 2018. I would have been able to scale so much faster in my own business. If you did get value, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. That kind of adds some value back to my business. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, anything like that. I'm always happy to answer those down below in the comment section as well. But I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you next time.